My name is François Simon and I will be your webinar host today. With me today I have Simo Erkinaimo, who will demonstrate for you the benefit of combining SOLIDWORKS PDM with Kusum Tools. You can use the chat box in the GoToWebinar panel if you have any question. We will make room after the session for more questions to let you follow the presentation better. We expect this webinar to take somewhere in the range of 25 to 30 minutes. The webinar will be recorded and made available later on. So let's get started. Kusum Tools versus SOLIDWORKS PDM. Positioning Kusum Tools against SOLIDWORKS PDM is the wrong approach. Too often I hear that Kusum Tools can be an alternative to SOLIDWORKS PDM, or that all what can be done in Kusum Tools can be done in SOLIDWORKS PDM. Sometimes I also hear that if I use Kusum Tools, then I do not need SOLIDWORKS PDM, or vice versa. If I have SOLIDWORKS PDM, then I do not need Kusum Tools. The reality is very different, as the two solutions have been designed to achieve totally different purposes. For some companies this might be true, but let's keep in mind that Kusum Tools will never bring you the benefit of SOLIDWORKS PDM, and that SOLIDWORKS PDM will never bring you the benefit of Kusum Tools. Before we go deeper into the presentation, it's important to understand how the two products are working. The main difference between SOLIDWORKS PDM and Kusum Tools is that SOLIDWORKS PDM is made to optimize the management of your SOLIDWORKS files, while Kusum Tools is made to optimize the data management of your SOLIDWORKS files. Two different things. The difference between file and data is not always obvious, and this has also created some confusion between the two solutions. The truth is that the two products are more complementary with each other. Kusum Tool will allow you to extend certain capabilities of SOLIDWORKS PDM, allowing you to work faster and also to bring more consistency to your data. Kusum Tools can help the SOLIDWORKS users in many areas, especially when it's related to data management. Optimizing your design process is the key to delivering your project faster. Identifying areas where design time is wasted or trying to minimize or reduce time spent on those routines can help you improving your productivity. This is true when it comes to DXF creation or project management in SOLIDWORKS PDM, or even when printing your drawings. Kusum Tool is not only about killing your routines and making you deliver your project faster. Another key benefit of combining Kusum Tools with SOLIDWORKS PDM is that you will bring more consistency to your design, making your data more reliable through data validation. Kusum Tools allows you to see what will happen if you press OK, while SOLIDWORKS PDM is working more beyond the curtain. Another good example, if you use the batch printing, is that drawings related to your assemblies will be printed in the correct order, for instance, the BOM order. If a part is copied, then all reference drawing will automatically follow the new part, and also the drawings will be updated. SOLIDWORKS PDM standardizes the way that the design team is managing SOLIDWORKS files. With Kusum Tools, we will standardize the way that data related to those files is managed. Through extensive functionalities when it comes to property management, file conversion, or even file naming. As long as you are using basic rules, then SOLIDWORKS PDM is sufficient for you. But you will quickly hit the limit once you try to push a bit the data management. Let's be honest, data management is boring and many companies just neglect it, which is also the best recipe for disaster on the long term. One of the reasons for that is that data management too often sounds like manual data entry. Sadly, this is often the case. As mentioned earlier, once the file naming starts to be a bit more intelligent, it requires also more work from your side. Also, when it comes to sharing data outside the engineering team, then difficulties are just ahead of you. One good example is how to easily transfer data from your PDM vault to other systems, like ERP system for instance, and ensure that what you will be sending is correct. Automating the data export is one thing, ensuring that the data that you will transfer is correct is another thing. Kusum Tools offers a set of tools made to manage data and is the design phase. So from the time that you start creating SOLIDWORKS files until the related data is delivered outside SOLIDWORKS PDM. If you combine Kusum Tools with SOLIDWORKS PDM, here you can see an overview of some of the features of Kusum Tools that could really help you in your design with SOLIDWORKS PDM. From project management and automatic file naming, to custom property management, batch operation, to automate the creation of your PDF or DXF files, Excel reporting, or ERP integration, just to name a few. Enough talk. Let's see some of that in action, and I will now let Simo to run the live demo for you. So now, Simo, the presentation is all yours.
Thank you, Francois. Can you verify that you are seeing my screen?
Yes, and I can also hear you.
Thank you. So hello everyone from my behalf as well. I am Simo, one of the Kusum Tools developers, but today I am Simo from Simo's Design Company. So in this my imaginary business, I design and manufacture, for instance, conveyors. I use SOLIDWORKS PDM to manage my manufacturing and design documents. That is the versions, revisions, and workflows, which is no doubt the PDM territory. I also use Microsoft Dynamics NAV to manage my items and production bombs and related resource planning. I create standard parts that are either manufactured in-house or purchased, and for those I have been using this SOLIDWORKS serial std-some counter for naming them. I build my products using these standard components, but also some product-specific components as well, obviously. So for these, I have been using another serial project parts that is just a counter value that gives a unique identifier for each of my components within my PDM. But I also combine it with my project number or product number in this case to create the file name. So the products and standard parts and everything are actually managed with Kusum Tools projects. And Kusum Tools also handles the file naming of everything that I have in PDM. So in Kusum Tools projects, I have defined my customer projects and my products and standard parts, and they all have different file naming convention. I use the SOLIDWORKS PDM integration to pull the serials from my vault so that I can use them within my Kusum Tools environment. So I can do very complex property combinations that I can then use in my file naming rules. So what I have here defined in my file naming is actually fairly simple compared to what I could actually have. I also do customer order-based variations of my products, but I don't have anything defined yet. But those orders I have in this legacy system, which is just an Excel file. So whenever I get a new order, I will just add it to my Excel file and the customer who did the order. And I will use this also tightly integrated into my system to provide me some file naming and foldering rules, as well as some property automation. So for my actual design, I have here my conveyor, which is fairly ready already. So only thing that I need to do, I need to make a new standard component to add my component tag into it. So I will start with creating a new part. I'll actually skip the actual design phase. I have created a template for it. So this is not set anywhere. It doesn't have any properties. I have just designed it. So I will use Kusum Tools properties to choose that this is actually a standard part, which will give me automatically the next available part number from my PDM. I will also choose it to be some material, some color, and the unit is important for basically every ERP system requires you to define a unit. This is built. For my description, I will use a combination of things. I will call this a thing, which has a length, width, and height. So as I click the dimensions, they were automatically mapped here. And I will also use the TH from the things to build my actual description for the part. So I will just click OK. And the part is now, the material is applied, the appearance is applied, and the part is now automatically saved with correct file name to the correct location in my PDM. I just click the export, so I will see the part here in PDM. Also, the properties are very well populated. And I will just then check this into my vault. This is basically now ready, new standard part in my system. I will then add it to my design. That I obviously have to check out first to make any changes to it. And with my super designer powers, I will try to make it to the design. But I'm also an evil designer, so I will just leave it underdefined there. It's good enough for this purpose here. Okay, so my design is now ready. All I have to do is to check it into my PDM. So at this point, as my design is ready, I will actually utilize the PDM workflows for some kind of like approval flow. This is the PDM territory, and I'm not going too deep into this. I'm actually skipping the whole step. But you can actually define some of the custom tools tasks within those transitions as well. I'm just doing it here for the demonstration purposes a little bit different. So let's say that my my approval flow is now completed, and all the required changes have been made, and so on. So the next thing to do is I would actually create my release documentation for. I like to have PDFs of my drawings related to this. So I will use Custom Tools Print and Convert, and I will do a batch conversion of all of the drawings in this design. But as my standard components have already been approved before, I don't want to actually recreate those. I will use a filter to clear my standard plots. Okay, so now I only have the conveyor drawings selected. And for those, I will actually also use this sheet format action to reload the sheet format that I used when I created these drawings. That is because I actually used the wrong sheet format, and then I updated it afterwards. So my drawings actually have the wrong sheet, but it will get now updated for my documentation. I will just hit OK. I'll let Custom Tools to do its job. So this is the Custom Tools batch operations in action. Here you can see the sheet format action that I made. It will change the small changes that it changed the placement of quantity to here under the slot. And then it generates the PDF documentation of these drawings. The PDFs are automatically added to my vault as well to a pre-specified location. And they will also have a custom reference added from them to the original source documentation, or the source document. Okay, so it's ready. We can go to my product conveyor, and here we now have a drawing PDFs folder where I can see all the PDFs of all of the drawings that were related to this this conveyor, or actually this product-specific drawings. Here you can see that the quantity is actually here, when in the source document it was up here. So a slight change, but I just wanted to have it updated. So now that my design is actually approved, I will utilize also the SOLIDWORKS integration. I mean Custom Tools PDM integration that I can define this task here. I have already defined that I can use print and convert here, and this is actually launching the print and convert within the PDM without any need for SOLIDWORKS. So the batch operation dialog is now also accessible for PDM users that have custom tools but don't have SOLIDWORKS. That is because the task that I defined here is actually executed on a task host machine. So I'm doing here a PDF drawing catalog that is actually a PDF merge that it collects all of the drawings that I have here in my assembly and merges them into single PDF. So in that case, I actually also want to add the quantity while I reload the upload the sheet because the quantity makes perfect sense in the main document. I will just hit OK and let the PDM task to start. And we can actually see it here at the admin tool. If I go to tasks, we can see that it's now immediately in process. It's running here on my virtual machine, and it's going to provide me some great documentation. Let's go back to the SOLIDWORKS PDM. I'm in SOLIDWORKS, and now that my design is ready, it's approved. I have all the documentation. I obviously want to push it to my ERP system. So for that, I will use CustomTools export and a profile that I have defined for this. So I will export this to my Navision system. So when I selected the profile, I already see that the CustomTools noticed, or the integration noticed that I haven't created any of these items to NAV yet. So I will just hit export. And it only should take a few seconds, and it's now completed. So with the click of a button, I just created a few dozens of items with these properties that I defined here to NAV, including the production bombs of the assemblies. So we can see is the document creation is ready. So we can go here to the Navision side and refresh my items. And I should see here a lot of the standard components that were created. And for instance, the last one that we just made ourselves, we even have a preview image here, which is a really nice addition to this integration. I also have obviously the product-specific components that are named slightly differently, and the production bombs for those. Now, as the merge PDF rule was already done, so I'm going to refresh here, and I can see that there's a new PDF documentation here. If I open this, you can see what we actually achieved with this. So we have a single PDF file that has all my drawings related to this conveyor project. And it even includes the quantity amount that is required to build this thing. Now I'm obviously lacking a lot of drawings here because this is just a demo, and I just quickly drafted these, so they are not really pretty, but serve the purpose. Okay, so my product is now ready, and I have all the documentation as well. The next thing is that I will get a customer order or do a slight change for this product. So I will have a new order in my legacy system. Let's call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now, and it's from ATR Soft. And I just save that to my list. And we're back in the design. So how I will do it, I will actually go to the properties of my main assembly, and I will create a customer-specific project out of it. So because this project has different file naming rules, it will actually create a copy of this, which is exactly what I want. I will also say that this is now a customer item, so it will get a different kind of ERP identifier based on my order number that I will query here. So this is now a live query against my Excel file, and we can now see that the order that I added, I will just select it. It's then populates my properties, and also the ERP identifier is C for customer, and then there's the customer order number, and then the original identifier that actually came from the PDM serial at the beginning. So I will just hit OK, and CustomTools will notice that my file naming rule has changed, which is good. This is exactly what I want. I want to name it according to the order number and have the original serial. CustomTools will also notice that I have a drawing for the original one and ask if I want to copy it. Yes, I want to have a customer-specific drawing as well for this. And here I have it. It also updated everything here, so we can see that even the drawing has the order number here added. So now I already have my customer-specific project. If I'm really like hasty and I want my order to be handled in the ERP side already, so I can actually already go to the export, and I will use this. I didn't check it in, so I will use this local copy of my assembly now, and I will export it to NAV. So we can now see that this customer-specific item did not exist in my ERP system, but everything else did exist. So I will just create the item to the Navision, so the resource planning can already start at that side. Now the actual change that the customer wanted was some kind of vending hold for this side, so I will do the same for this part. I selected it, and I will choose it to be a customer project, customer item, and the order, ATR soft, I hit OK, save as, also take the drawing. Okay. And now we can start designing the changes for this part. So again, with my super designer skills, I will try to sketch something on this surface, just something that we can easily notice, and make a cut. So I don't know why the customer wanted this vending hole, but the customer is always right, so I'm not going to question that. So now I have it in my design, and my design is already. I will check it in. And I will actually also now export this to NAV. So now my design changes have been done. So in the NAV, we can now notice that the bill of material of this item has changed. We have a new item there. And I will just export these changes to my NAV. Okay. You can actually now go see the NAV side of it. Or actually, let's do the design documentation first in the PDM side. I will close SolidWorks and go to my my customer project. So here we can see how the manufacturing or the ordering company and the actual order number created my folder structure here in the PDM, and I only have the documents that are actually meaningful based on this order. So I'm using PDM to actually reuse my components as much as possible. So I only have the changed ones here. So for these, I actually now want to do the print and convert. So for this, I actually want to do the PDF catalog. So that collects all of my drawings within the same merged PDF. I also want to do the PDF drawings, but I will only select the ones that are a customer project drawings. I will also do DXFs. For the DXF, I obviously only can choose sheet metal parts, so I will actually first clear the selections. I will choose sheet metal parts. Then I will use the filter again to clear my standard parts and also my conveyor parts. Okay, so in this situation, I only changed one component that happened to be a sheet metal file. So I only get one component selected here. But imagine if you would have tens or hundreds of those. This is how you would actually select those that you want. I also want to add the quantity to my sheet format, and I'm not actually using the original sheet format because the sheet format that I used to create my drawings was actually the customer-specific sheet format. So in this case, I don't want to change it. But I do want to override some property values because I want to update all the drawings to have this order number and the customer number inside my created PDF documentations for this customer. So this is the process that I'm going to start. And there's quite a lot of stuff that it will do, but I will just hit OK and let it do its job. So now we should see in PDM task list that it's waiting for host and about to start. And I actually kind of did the things here the wrong way because I was supposed to start this first and then show you the SolidWorks side about pushing the documents to the ERP system. But we can now actually soon witness the actual creation of the documents here at the ERP side. So I mean at the virtual machine. So my virtual machine is now starting the process, and it will do the task as I as I commanded it to do at the PDM side. But let's do one more addition for this. So now that it's creating my documents, I also want to do an Excel report for this customer. So I will just use this assembly, custom tools, and Excel report, which will open custom tools export within the PDM. So this does not require SolidWorks at all. Creating Excel reports in PDM only requires PDM, custom tools, and obviously Microsoft Excel installed on your machine. So I will just choose the Excel report and export it here. And my Excel file should be somewhat created now. So I'll just close that one, and here's the Excel report I created for my customer specific item, all the preview units, and even the new standard component that we just did here. So this is a nice listing here. So I think our operation is probably done. Yes, so I just refresh my folder, and I can see that I got PDFs for these drawings that were customer specific. So they have my customer order ID and name. I also should have all the DXFs created. So this is the one that we had the modification done, so the venting hole is there as it should. And we also have the drawing catalog that I'm going to have to open with Edge. So here in this catalog, I have the order number and the customer here as well added for all of the drawings, and also the quantities. We can actually verify the quantity for, let's say, like this one, standard part 8 has quantity of 4. If we go to my Excel, it was part, was it 8? I guess it was 8. So we have 2 of these here, but there's also 2 of these assemblies. So 2 times 2 is 4 in this design. So we have 4 of those in here. I can also quickly show the Dynamics NAV side. So now we have here the customer specific changes. So we have the roller conveyor and its picture, and also obviously all the production bombs and the customer specific right roller frame, which has the venting hole here as well. So everything is here in my Navision. So this is basically my demonstration for today, and I hope you get a lot out of it.
Thank you, Simo. So you should be able to see my screen now. Yes. So
I will change it as presenter.
Can you see my screen?
I just changed you back to presenter. Now I can see your screen. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Yep. Okay. So one of our priority as a solution provider is to ensure that Kusum Tools and SolidWorks PDM gets even more tightly integrated in the near future. So development for the integration is still going on, and here you can see 2 of the main areas that we are going to concentrate for Kusum Tools 2021, which will be released in October. So we want to fully integrate the built-in modules that we have today in Kusum Tools for Oscar ERP, Odoo, and also for Dynamics Nav to allow you to run the export to those ERP directly from the PDM Vault or through a PDM task. Also, we want to extend the batch operation so that you can build advanced filter or define a set of action when the files are converted or printed from PDM using Kusum Tools. You will be able to define templates that can execute specific tasks. For example, one task could be to create PDF, DXF, print all your drawing in A4, and process specific sheets of your drawings. This is all we had to show you for today. For our next webinar, we will present one of the new features that was introduced in Kusum Tools 2020 to manage BOM quantity. The webinar will take place on the 11th of June, same time as today. Go ahead and register for the webinar already. We are open for questions when the recording is stopped, but first we would like to thank you for attending this webinar, and I hope to see you for the next one. Thank you, have a nice.
We are in the life-saving business. We kill your routines before they kill you.